I had mentioned after the ambush meeting, after having many conversations, first of all, it was completely like almost traumatizing and triggering. So I did a draft where I just let out all my emotions, okay? I showed it to the attorney, I showed it to my dad, and I showed it to one more person that doesn't work here, and they're like, whoa, whoa. That's why you have to have some people you trust. It was quite emotional, and it was quite defensive. But when I was talking to my former colleague, my dad, and the attorney, they all said the same thing. Don't be on the defensive. Stick to the facts of your job description. And I went through the process of getting interviewed by the attorney, which was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I have what I need. And I said, after that, I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. And the attorney's like, hey, I have got to ask these questions so I can do help you with a response. So they asked a lot of questions. I don't know if you've ever dealt with a attorney that has employee rights specialty, but they asked a lot of questions, and they're like, well, I will help you draft the letter. Anyway, after I met with the attorney, they helped me with my response letter. So the week before Thanksgiving, I was interviewing with this person, sending emails. They were asking for send this email, send this text message, send this. Every time they would ask a question, go look for the email. So that's one thing I learned. Go keep your emails and keep your figurative receipts. So I had already screenshot all these text messages, emails. So that was a whole process. That pretty much ruined the weekend. It ruined the whole weekend before Thanksgiving week. I lost sleep, lost my appetite, which never happens. I mean, I'm not a skinny mini. It was something else, everyone. So, the week before Thanksgiving, I was working on it. During the Thanksgiving break, that weekend before I worked on it, that Thanksgiving week, I worked on it through until Wednesday. Monday, the attorney sent me a draft and then sent another update. So they're like, if you need anything else, like I've done twice of what the amount you paid for. And they were like, I am doing this because you've been like, I've referred people to them. So I said, I will compensate you more. They're like, no, you've been so gracious. I looked at it and it looked great. So what I did was they're like, create an index with all the document references. Create an index. So I did that. And I named all the different documents. I mean, it was like several documents. I didn't use all of them when I replied to Dark Triad Management, plural. But anyway, that was a process. It took a lot. It took a lot of time. It took so much time. Okay. So what happened was I created the email, and with all the documents, that took a while too. I put it in draft and I put my name in the copy place and left the not sending it to anyone. I had to make sure every last one of those documents were in there, check it off. I checked it off twice, re-looked back through the response. It wasn't completely perfect, but boy, did it get the point across, okay? So I sent it on that Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and then Monday I forwarded again and said, please kindly confirm receipt. I sent it to the person that had the issues with my performance, and their supervisor. Okay, so I replied and said, please kindly confirm receipt. Oh, by the way, yeah, I did another email where it's like, I have sent you all the requested documents I have provided the response in the requested 7 working days. I created a Microsoft Team event to confirm that you actually got what I sent. So immediately Dark Triad responded, and their supervisor said, could you please prepare me a paper packet? Which I immediately said, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, whatever. So that next day, that was this Monday. This Tuesday, I provided the packet to that Dark Triad person's upline person. Really, that both of them are part of the Dark Triad, because it doesn't matter whether you're committing the act or you're complicit. That's what happened. So then I was talking to my dad about it, and he's like, he's always very practical. Like, look, make this work for you. Don't do anything that you think might potentially antagonize them. Just do your job, lay low. When you send things, simply stick to the facts and the job description. And, I can do that. I'm very much like da-da-da-da-da. This is what I'm doing, such and such and such. I don't add anything else in there. I don't put anything in there that can be seen like I'm being salty. But guys, I do have let me make sure, the document here. And, I'll give you some examples of some things that were said on there, because I'm going to keep it down low. So first it started out like who it's to, and that is from me, the date. And then it was like the response to this letter that was dated in November. It's currently December, okay? And then the language the attorney said, like, you stated this and stressed this. And then the attorney turned around and said, in fact, on this date, that I was available for training in so much as my duties allowed, okay? And then there was this date in October where I had to leave early. But the way that this person crafted the letter, they didn't quite include the entire email. They pulled out parts of the email. So I sent the emails about saying that I needed to leave early. I was servicing students, and all the emails. So it's like, and you were notified in advance, document such and such, the subject bar of the email. And then it said, finally, because this big thing was me, I have all these YouTube playlists. I have videos I've created website. I've created a Pinterest with school health themes. I've created all these things when I go to the school to help supplement them. And then when I talk, if they want it, I will text them the information, how to access that video so they can look back at it in the description area. So anyway, this attorney is like, that I've never provided these things instead of doing a nurse orientation, staff orientation, and made the point that it's merely she used the word augment, supplement. And I'm like, wow. So the attorney's like, are you saying what you're providing is to augment or supplement? And I'm like, yes, somebody gets it. So they put that in there, and it's like, hey, it was part of my evaluation that I would do these things. This person is like, it's almost like this stuff, when I bring it up, they act like they don't see that I've done any of this stuff. And the way that they just have a problem with these videos I have done. I'm not going to try and figure out what their problem is. The point is, I put it in my performance appraisal that I was going to do these things, and she accepted it in the performance appraisal, because guess what? I can do a group site. I can do all kind of other things. And she accepted it. I had done all this stuff that was kind of had a slant on benefits, but they were like, no, stick to school health. I'm like, okay, I rewrote my goals. One of them I did videos. The other ones I did a website. I talked about all these feeling cards and stuff that the Children's Hospital has, really connecting with the mental health. So I sent that stuff, all these things I found, put it into this website where the staff could access it. It's all there, and this person wants to act like it's not there and weaponize it almost. It is twisted. So they said, they helped me to say, I've never provided these things in lieu of training. The playlists that are referred to are part of my approved employee goals. And the attorney kind of helping me have they ever provided PDFs? I'm like, yes, they use things for children's all the time. Now, I have provided some things for children, and all of a sudden it's an issue with the new nurse packet. They switched to the things in the manual, which, by the way, I provided that too. But when it's with some other things, it's stuff from the Children's Hospital. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, additional training. There was this stuff about these other school nurses, like I wasn't supporting them. And there was this one particular nurse that was taken off my team. And so one thing that the person said was, well, first of all, they trying to paint it when I'm leaving the service to students with diabetes, almost like this wasn't said ahead that this needs to happen. Almost like I'm not because if I would just get some CCTs, I wouldn't have to leave. No, you have to get people that are willing, right? So anyway, but there was this one nurse that was removed from the team so it could be more supportive. And so this attorney is like, you implied that this nurse felt like she was not being provided adequate training, support, etc. And in fact, she told me often how much she appreciated me. And so I provided text messages, all the ways that we have been communicating. I mean, I have at least 90 some text messages, but I focused in on the ones where she was reaching out to me. And then on the 7th, there's this one nurse that started in October that I didn't know about until I came back from medical leave on November the 8th. Nobody told me anything. Was it done on purpose? I don't know. It's truly strange. Nobody told me, and the nurse didn't know who the consultant was. Also, in terms of the leave and stuff, this attorney helped me with my wording, I'm entitled for my leave, and I kind of said, I notified you regarding this. I'm exercising my legally entitled rights, whatever. And I just said, I'm concerned, in regards to me being penalized, especially compared to other nurse consultants where it's not even this big old huge issue. I had gotten it signed and approved ages ago. Honey, I tell you what, I already had signed slips, but that one on the 7th, that upline person above this person that did this ambush meeting with all this foolishness in this letter, she hurried up. She must have looked to see if I had any outstanding leave. She signed that leave slip herself. And so the secretary's like, if you don't have this already. So right before I went off on the 7th, I got Dark Triad to sign it because she hadn't signed it. Was she trying to use that and say I was off on leave without pay or something like that, or leave without approval? I don't know, but I hurried up because I emailed, I was about to call her, beep her, whatever. So anyway, yeah. So I had all those text messages and the stuff with the CCTs. There's one school where they have refused, all the staff says they don't want to be bothered. That school has not been brought up one time, but all these specific schools where she's implying that I didn't make enough of an effort, here's what the attorney helped me to say. Basically, Volunteers haven't been provided despite my repeated solicitations. And the attorney helped me with naming the schools. And then also I provided emails and things. I have document numbers, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 documents about that CCT stuff, including old emails from like last school year that I've been trying to get somebody to volunteer for ages. Anyway, but then with the immunization audit, this person with this foolishness, Dark Triad implied that I hadn't supported this one principal and assisted her with what she needed to do the immunization. But she just honed in on the thing saying that I requested an extension and copied in the principal, all this stuff. And the principal just wanted me to provide more of an explanation to the health department. But guess what? The health department couldn't care less if there isn't a nurse at that school. The health department doesn't care, okay? They want their immunization audit. And guess what? Last school year, this principal asked me for information about the audit and I provided it. So there's no way that she can say that she didn't know how to do that audit because she actually did it last school year. So I had all these emails from last school year, all the emails from this school year. I mean, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 different documents that showing emails that I sent to this principal, okay? And the other thing the attorney helped me to say was like the email, this letter, this concern letter this person sent, this letter, this letter of wickedness implying I'm not doing my job was inaccurate, incomplete, which it was. She copied and pasted things from different emails, but she didn't show the whole email. And that's what I did in the documents. And it basically said that the memo was inaccurate, not complete, not consistent with the requirements of my job duties compared to my other counterparts. And then I gave, it says, examples of how I have not been provided resources, which is often needed to fulfill my duties. Other duties as assigned. This person sent this stuff about other duties as assigned that the nurses should be asked to travel, and then turned around and kind of said, oh no, I didn't mean for certain nurses to travel. I just meant for like, you have elementary school, high school, or middle. I just meant for this grade level to travel, but I don't mean for these grade levels to travel for various reasons. The person is ping-ponging.